Welcome back to the channel Coin Master everyone to another exciting and trending video where we dive deep into the fascinating world of United States coins and hidden treasures that might be sitting right in your pocket change. Today we are going to talk about one of the most mysterious and valuable coins you could ever come across, the 1997 Roosevelt dime with the word Liberty and the famous motto "In God We Trust" that has shocked collectors across the world with its incredible value. Yes, you heard that right. A small 10-cent coin that was originally worth just one dime has turned into a rare collector's dream, now valued at a jaw-dropping $58,000 in today's market. Stay tuned because you will not want to miss a single detail about its history, its design, its errors, and why collectors are willing to pay so much money for a coin that many people would not even give a second look at when they see it in circulation. Let's start from the very beginning. The Roosevelt dime was first introduced in 1946 to honor President Franklin Delano Roosevelt, who had passed away the previous year. Roosevelt was loved for his leadership during the Great Depression and World War II, and also for his work with the March of Dimes campaign that helped fight polio. That is why his portrait was chosen to be placed on the dime. Since then, the Roosevelt dime has remained one of the most popular coins in circulation in the United States, and every single year millions upon millions of these dimes were minted at different U.S. mint facilities including Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Now fast forward to 1997, the year our coin of interest was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. The Philadelphia Mint produced hundreds of millions of these dimes. But out of all those ordinary coins, there are a few pieces that stand out with incredible value because of their rarity, condition, and special characteristics. These 1997 dimes are not just your everyday pocket change. Some of them, especially those graded in high mint state condition, error coins, or examples with unique qualities, can fetch unbelievable prices at auction. And yes, the one we are focusing on today has been reported to sell for up to $58,000. That is life-changing money for a coin that most people would overlook. But why is this coin so valuable? First, condition is everything when it comes to coin collecting. A 1997 dime in circulation with scratches and wear will probably only be worth its face value of 10 cents. But when you find a 1997 Roosevelt dime that has been preserved in pristine uncirculated mint state condition with sharp details, bright luster, and no visible damage, collectors go absolutely crazy for it. Professional grading services like PCGS and NGC assign grades to these coins, and a coin in MS 68 or higher can bring in thousands and thousands of dollars. Second, error coins from 1997 are a big reason behind the massive value. Errors like off-center strikes, double dies, missing mint marks, misaligned dies, broad strikes, and other minting mistakes make coins incredibly rare. Collectors love error coins because each one is unique and impossible to duplicate. If your 1997 dime happens to have one of these rare minting errors, its value skyrockets far beyond what most people expect. That is exactly why some pieces have crossed the $50,000 mark at auctions. Third, rarity also plays a huge role. While millions were minted, only a handful survived in top grade or with unusual features. This scarcity fuels bidding wars among collectors who are desperate to own the best of the best. It is the law of supply and demand working in the coin world. Now let's talk about the design. On the obverse, or front side of the coin, you see the profile of Franklin D. Roosevelt facing left. Above his head is the word Liberty, to the left is the phrase "In God We Trust," and just below his neck you see the mint mark P for Philadelphia along with the date 1997. The reverse of the coin shows a torch in the center, symbolizing liberty, flanked by an olive branch on the left representing peace and an oak branch on the right symbolizing strength and independence. The words United States of America and one dime are inscribed around the edges along with E pluribus unum, meaning out of many one. This design has stood the test of time and is one of the most iconic coin designs in U.S. history. So what does this all mean for you? It means you should never ignore the change you receive from the grocery store, the gas station, or even coins that may have been sitting in your drawer for years. You could be holding on to a 1997 Roosevelt dime that looks ordinary but could actually be worth tens of thousands of dollars. Collectors all over the country are searching for these rare examples, and the market value has been consistently strong. In recent years, auction records have stunned the coin collecting community with prices soaring higher and higher. While average circulated coins might only be worth a dime, the rare gems among them are being valued at up to $58,000. Imagine finding one of these coins in perfect mint state condition. Imagine walking into a coin dealer or submitting it for grading and finding out you have a fortune in your hands. Stories of lucky finds like this are not just dreams. They have happened to ordinary people who simply paid attention to the coins they had in circulation. Collectors today are hungry for quality coins from the 1990s, and the 1997 P. Roosevelt dime has proven itself to be one of the most desirable. As more people learn about its rarity and value, demand continues to climb. And that is why the $58,000 price tag has shocked everyone. So the next time you are checking your pocket change, pay close attention to every single dime. Look carefully at the date, the mint mark, the condition, and any unusual features. A small detail could be the difference between 10 cents and tens of thousands of dollars. That is the thrill of coin collecting, and that is why the 1997 P. Roosevelt dime has become one of the most talked about treasures in circulation today. This coin is living proof that hidden treasures are still out there waiting to be discovered. Your everyday change could hold a piece of history, a symbol of American heritage, and a fortune beyond imagination. So keep searching, keep learning, and keep collecting, because you never know when the next great discovery will be in your hands. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1997 P. Roosevelt dime and its astonishing $58,000 value, make sure to like this video, share it with other coin lovers, and subscribe for more incredible stories about rare and valuable coins. Your support helps us keep bringing you the most trending and attractive coin content on YouTube. And remember, one coin could change your life forever. Would you like me to make this script even longer with extra storytelling about real-life discoveries of rare dimes by ordinary people to stretch the runtime further for your video? Today we are diving deep into the fascinating world of United States coins and focusing on one that many people see every single day but never realize it could be worth a fortune. I am talking about the 2000 P. Roosevelt dime, the little silver-colored coin that carries the face of Franklin Delano Roosevelt with the words "Liberty" and "In God We Trust" proudly stamped on the obverse. This coin might just look like your average pocket change, but behind it lies an incredible history, a collectible story, and a current market value that will blow your mind, reaching as high as $58,000 in certain conditions. This is not just loose change, this is hidden treasure that could be sitting in your wallet, your coin jar, or even lying unnoticed in circulation right now. To truly understand the value of the 2000 P. Roosevelt dime, we need to go back in time and explore the origins of the dime itself. The 10-cent piece has been around since the very early years of the United States Mint. The first official dime appeared in 1796 featuring the draped bust design, and throughout the centuries the dime has gone through multiple design changes, from the capped bust to the seated Liberty, then the barber dime, and finally the famous Mercury dime that ran from 1916 until 1945. After the passing of President Franklin D. Roosevelt in 1945, Congress quickly decided to honor his memory with a new dime design. Roosevelt was the leader who guided the nation through the Great Depression and most of World War II, and he also played a huge role in founding the March of Dimes organization, which fought against polio, so it was both a fitting and symbolic tribute to place his portrait on the dime. The first Roosevelt dimes were released in 1946, and since then his image has remained unchanged, making it one of the longest-running designs in American coinage history. Now fast forward to the year 2000, a year filled with energy, a new millennium. The United States Mint in Philadelphia struck millions of Roosevelt dimes marked with the letter P beneath the date on the obverse. At first glance, these coins seemed ordinary, made of a copper nickel-clad composition weighing 2.27 grams with a diameter of 17.9 millimeters. They looked just like every other modern dime in circulation. However, in the world of coin collecting, not all coins are created equal. While millions are made, only a small number leave the mint with special qualities, unique errors, or pristine conditions that collectors chase after. And That is where the 2000p Roosevelt dime becomes truly special. When we talk about the value of this coin, the range is huge. In average circulated condition, the 2000p dime is usually worth only face value 10 cents, but if you happen to come across one that is in mint state condition with no scratches, sharp details, and a strong strike, it can already be worth a few dollars to collectors. Now here is where things get really exciting. The highest graded examples, those certified by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC as Mint State 68, or even Mint State 69, can fetch jaw-dropping prices at auctions. In fact, certain examples of the 2000p Roosevelt dime have been valued at as much as $58,000. This unbelievable figure comes from a combination of rarity, condition, and collector demand, and it proves once again that pocket change can turn into life-changing money. So why is this dime so valuable? One reason is the quality of the strike. Coins that are struck with exceptional detail and luster are incredibly rare. Another factor is era. Coins the year 2000 saw a number of interesting minting mistakes across various denominations, and Roosevelt dimes were no exception. Collectors look for off-center strikes, doubled dies, misaligned dies, or even transitional errors, and when these mistakes are combined with the 2000p mint mark, the value skyrockets. On top of that, only a tiny percentage of the total mintage has survived in perfect untouched condition, meaning that if you find one in the wild, it is like striking gold. Think about it. Millions of these coins were produced, but most ended up circulating for years, rubbing against other coins in cash registers, pockets, and wallets, which wore down the details and destroyed their mint luster. Only a handful were saved by collectors right when they were released, and only a fraction of those have been graded at the top levels that collectors and investors fight to own. That scarcity is what transforms an ordinary 10-cent piece into a coin worth tens of thousands of dollars. The story is a perfect reminder that history is not just locked away in museums, it travels in our pockets every day. Another fascinating part of this coin is its symbolism. The obverse carries the profile of Franklin D. Roosevelt facing left with the inscriptions "Liberty in God We Trust" and the date 2000, followed by the mint mark P. The reverse features a torch flanked by an olive branch and an oak branch symbolizing liberty, peace, and strength. The words "United States of America" and one dime circle the edges along with the motto "E Pluribus Unum" from many one. This design has remained virtually unchanged since 1946, making the 2000p dime both a modern coin and part of a long-living American legacy. Now let us talk about the present-day market. Collectors are more excited than ever about modern coinage, especially coins from the late 20th century and early 2000s, because many of these were struck in huge numbers, but high-grade survivors are shockingly rare. The 2000p Roosevelt dime in top condition is one of those coins, and with the current market boom in numismatics, prices for top specimens are climbing higher and higher in auctions. A flawless coin can ignite bidding wars, and even those slightly lower in grade can sell for hundreds or thousands of dollars. The key is condition and rarity. If you are lucky enough to own one certified at the highest level, you could be holding a piece of change that is worth $58,000 today and possibly even more in the future as demand continues to grow. Imagine the thrill of checking your loose change or an old coin jar and discovering that one tiny dime could pay for a new car or even a down payment on a house. It almost sounds unbelievable, but this is the beauty of coin collecting. Treasures hide in plain sight, waiting to be found. That is why it is always important to check your coins carefully. Look for the mint marks, look for unusual errors, and consider grading if you believe you have a pristine specimen. So the next time you come across a dime dated 2000 with a P mint mark, do not dismiss it as just 10 cents. Remember the history behind it, the symbolism it carries, and the incredible value it could hold. The Roosevelt dime stands as a lasting tribute to a great American president, and at the same time it offers collectors and treasure hunters the thrill of possibly uncovering a $58,000 gem right out of everyday circulation. The world of coins is full of surprises, and this little dime proves that sometimes the biggest treasures come in the smallest packages. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 2000p Roosevelt dime and its astonishing history and value, make sure to check your change carefully because your fortune could be hiding in plain sight. TODY, the Roosevelt dime series first began in 1946, just a year after the passing of Franklin Delano Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States. Roosevelt had led the nation through the Great Depression and the Second World War, and he was also a great champion for the fight against polio, which had affected him personally. The March of Dimes was created to fund research and medical support for polio patients, and so in his honor the dime became the perfect coin to carry his portrait. Since it symbolized the national fight against the disease, the coin features Roosevelt's left-facing portrait with the words Liberty, the national motto, In God We Trust, and the year of issue on the obverse side. The reverse shows the torch symbolizing liberty, an olive branch for peace, and an oak branch for strength and independence. This timeless design by John Arsenic has continued with only slight modifications throughout the decades. Now the specific 2007 D Roosevelt dime was struck at the Denver Mint. The D Mint mark is located to the lower right of Roosevelt's neck. Millions of these coins were minted, and in circulation they look ordinary in pocket change. However, certain conditions can turn this seemingly common dime into a treasure. Errors in minting high-grade quality, and coins preserved in nearly perfect condition can carry values far beyond face value for collectors. When we talk about the history of the 2007 dime, we must understand the broader background of U.S. coinage during this time. By 2007, the U.S. Mint had become known for producing coins with advanced technology using modern presses capable of billions of strikes. Yet even with all the technology, mint errors still occurred, and these are what excite collectors. Some of the most fascinating errors include double strikes, off-center strikes, missing clad layers, misaligned dies, and dramatic die cracks. These kinds of mistakes transform an everyday dime into something very rare. In fact, some rare mint error examples from 2007 have been auctioned for thousands of dollars. The real value of the 2007 D dime, however, also depends on condition. Coins are graded on the Sheldon scale, which ranges from poor 1 to mint state 70. If you find a coin in circulation that looks brand new, shiny, with no scratches or wear, then you may be looking at an uncirculated piece. Collectors especially prize coins graded MS 67, MS 68, or higher, because very few exist at those levels. For the 2007 D dime, a perfect, or nearly perfect example can sell for several $1,000s, and if combined with a rare error, it could go up to that huge figure of $58,000. This is the kind of money that turns a coin worth 10 cents into a life-changing discovery. In circulation, most 2007 D Roosevelt dimes will only be worth their face value of 10 cents, but coin collectors and auction houses always keep an eye on high-grade certified examples. When a coin has been professionally graded by services like PCGS or NGC and sealed in a protective holder, its value is locked in the marketplace with confidence. Reports show that some high-grade dimes from this year have achieved auction records where collectors battle against each other to own the very best example available on the planet. That competitive spirit is what drives the price to incredible heights. Imagine finding a dime in your change drawer or an old coin jar at home, and then realizing it is a rare error strike or a flawless gem quality coin. The excitement of discovering that a simple 10-cent piece could bring in $58,000 is what makes coin collecting so thrilling. It is not only about history but also about treasure hunting. Every single coin tells a story of the time it was made, of the people who used it, and of the economy it traveled through. The 2007 D Roosevelt dime is a modern coin, but it still carries that aura of mystery and potential hidden value. The Roosevelt dime itself has remained one of the most iconic coins in American history. Its design has not changed in over 70 years, making it a symbol of stability and remembrance of Roosevelt's legacy as a leader during difficult times. And for collectors, each year and each mint mark tells a slightly different story of mintage totals, die varieties, and hidden errors. The 2007 Denver dime is a perfect example of how a coin that looks ordinary can have extraordinary surprises. If you are searching through your change, pay close attention to the details. Check the mint mark, study the surfaces under good light, look for doubling in the words Liberty or In God We Trust, inspect the torch and the branches on the reverse for unusual features. If the coin appears misaligned or has a missing layer, then you may be holding a rare variety. Also pay attention to luster. If the coin looks like it just came out of the mint with blazing shine, it could be in a high mint state grade, and that is where the big value lies. So while millions of these coins exist, only a handful will ever reach the upper levels of value that make headlines. But that is the beauty of numismatics. The thrill is in the search, in the history, and in the chance of finding a treasure among the ordinary. For the 2007 D Roosevelt dime, the potential for a value up to $58,000 is very real when rarity, condition, and collector demand all align together. In the end, the coin you may have in your pocket today could be the same design that honors Roosevelt's fight against polio, the same dime used daily by millions, but with patience, knowledge, and luck, it could also be the coin that makes your collection shine and possibly change your financial future forever. The story of the 2007 D Roosevelt dime is a reminder that even the smallest coin carries the biggest possibilities, and that is why collectors all over the world continue to search, study, and cherish these little pieces of American history.